We are on page 55 in your grammar books. Go ahead and turn to page 55. Back out of this a little bit. 55. It is so cold up here today. Oh, wait. I was going to say here comes Harmony, but it's actually Christian. I guess he got kicked off. Anyways, it's still raining outside. It's been raining all night and foggy and just cold, like suddenly just so cold. Anyway, I don't know why I felt like I just had to tell you that. Now you know. Page 55, that clause. Okay, we already know about who, which clause. This one's a little bit different. It starts with the word that. It's pretty easy to find because it starts with that every time. It does have a subject-verb pair within the clause because remember, clauses have verbs and phrases do not. So if you think about like the prepositional phrase, that does not have a verb, but all the clauses do. So this is like a because clause or a who, which clause. This one's called that clause. It's a group of words that begin with the word that and contains a subject and a verb. It must be added to a sentence that is already complete. So when you mark these, you're going to use parentheses like that, just like we do with the who, which. And above the word that, you're going to write the word that. Okay, pretty easy. You're also going to find the subject verb pair within the clause. So here we have Timmy knew that the cat ate mice. One way to tell when it ends is when you see that word that, you can ask yourself what? Timmy knew what? He knew that the cat ate mice. So that is how you can figure that part out as far as when it ends. And then there's no commas with that clauses there. Then we're going to talk about contractions. I know you guys already know these. You probably learned these like in 3rd grade or even 2nd grade maybe, so a while ago. But a contraction combines 2 words into one. And then it uses an apostrophe to show where a letter or letters, plural, have been removed. So like here, it shows cannot, and that contraction is can't. The apostrophe shows where the no, where N-O has been removed. Oh, here comes Harmony. Could not becomes couldn't. The apostrophe shows where the O has been removed. Did not is didn't. The apostrophe shows where the O has been removed there as well. Hi, Harmony. We're on page 55 in your grammar book, okay? Okay. Do not, those 2 words do not come together as a contraction, don't. And the apostrophe shows where the O was removed. He had is he'd. H-E apostrophe D, so the apostrophe shows where the H-A in had, that was removed. So instead of he had, it's he'd. He would is he'd. So this one removes a bunch, right? It removes, the apostrophe shows where W-O-U-L, all those letters were removed for he'd. And then it is, it's, the apostrophe shows where the I was removed in is. She will, she'll, the apostrophe shows where the WI has been removed. And then they are there, the apostrophe shows where the A has been removed in are, so it's there, they are there. Was not is wasn't. The apostrophe shows where the O has been removed in that one. So basically in this book, they're going to leave out the apostrophes on purpose, and you got to figure out where they go. Okay. So it says to place an apostrophe to show where a letter or letters have been removed. So here's the word don't. Don't be afraid of the cat is the sentence. And they forgot the apostrophe, so you just write it in where it goes. You guys know about contractions, right? Give me a thumbs up if you already knew all that about contractions. Good. Yay. So any questions about this page about either the that clause or contractions? I recorded this, Harmony, so if you want to go back and listen to what I said about that clause, you can later, okay? Moving on to the next page, 56. It's so cold in my house right now. I'm sorry, my nose is running. I'm not sick or anything. It's just suddenly really, really cold. Like the high is like, let me tell you what the high is. 43.
I was outside in a short
It's 43
sleeve.
right now.
I was outside in a short sleeve when it was 43 degrees.
Well, it's kind of a shock to the system because this last weekend we were close to 80 degrees outside, right? It was felt so warm. And so here we are. So my body's like, whoa, it's cold. So I got my heater and everything, but my nose is cold. Anyways, moving on to this page. Many words can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. We've learned this before. For example, the word meeting. Meeting can be either a verb, an adjective, or a noun. I think before we talked about the word light. Sometimes it can be different things. So this word meeting, this is showing you, depending on the sentence, how it's used will tell you what part of speech it is. So for example, the first one, it's used as a verb. So the mice were meeting in the kitchen. So meeting here is used as a verb. It ends in ing and it functions as a verb only if it follows a helping verb. So you have that word were, that's a helping verb. So were meeting, that goes together. It's called a verbal phrase, actually. Here it's used as an adjective. The mice gathered in the meeting room. Now that's way different because the meeting room is telling what kind of room. Remember, room is a noun. So when it tells what kind or which one, then that's an adjective. Okay, so same word meeting here is used as an adjective, and then here it's used as a noun. The mice agreed to have a meeting. Because that article a is right in front of it, that tells us that meeting is a noun, actually, a noun, a meeting, okay? And it's a person, place, or thing. A meeting, that's a thing, I guess you could say. So anyway, they just wanted you to think about that. When you see a word like that, you got to really pay attention to where it is in the sentence and how it's being used because it can change. But remember, in the sentence, it's only used one way in the one sentence. It can't be a verb and an adjective at the same time. Okay. Any questions about that? No? Yes? No? Okay. I see no's. All right. Anybody feel like reading today? Okay, Chloe, go for it.
He didn't want to join them, but he recognized that he'd seemed terribly rude.
Good. Already we could probably see a couple mistakes in there. So, but the vocabulary is recognized. Can anybody tell me what that means? Recognized? How would you explain that? Oh, do you have an idea, Chloe? Go ahead.
It means like you recognize someone, like you, like, let's say you saw someone at a party, like, and then like 2 years later you said you recognize them.
Yeah, that's a good example. So you remembered them, or they looked familiar to you, or maybe you realized that it's the same person. So good. Okay. It's hard to define that one because it's hard not to use the word recognize in the definition, but you're right, Chloe. That was good. Okay. Christian, what are the 4 pronouns? We've got 4 pronouns in here.
He, he, and them.
The pronoun and he, yeah, the first part, and then them. Good. Awesome. And then Harmony, how about the adjectives. Now you would look at those. We're going to look for an adjective here, a word to describe this person, he.
What describes him?
This is a tricky one, actually. He didn't want to join them, but he recognized that he seemed terribly rude. So what would describe the person?
Rude.
Good.
Yes, good. That describes him. Good. Sometimes the adjective comes right before the noun, but in this one it doesn't. So that was a little trickier. Since that was pretty easy, Harmony, I'm going to have you do the other one, the next one too. What about an ly adverb?
Terribly.
Good. So we're going to label that. Oops, I was going to put adv, but they want you to put ly. So we'll put that. Good. Chloe, back to you. What about the coordinating conjunction?
But
What do you think, Chloe?
But
Yes, but. And then how about Christian? How about the that clause? Where would we find that?
that before he'd
Okay, where does it end?
at the period.
Well, there's no period yet, but you're right. At the end of the sentence, we can go ahead and put a period in there. You're right. And don't forget, it's weird, but we're going to label it with that. So go ahead and write that on top of that. That's what they want us to do. Okay, so back to Harmony. Think about, let's look for the verbs. I'll tell you there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verbs in here. Some of them are helping and linking and action.
The verbs.
didn't.
Did she say didn't?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. And it's actually the did part of didn't. So we'll put a V right on top of did. That's right. Good, Harmony.
You see any more?
What else?
Recognized.
Recognized. Good.
Seen.
Good. Couple more.
He.
If you're looking here at heed, you're right. It's a little tricky because first of all, we got to stick that apostrophe in there. Is that what you were looking at, Harmony, right here, heed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put an apostrophe in, and then you're right, the D is for that word had
Would.
or did
He would.
or would. You're right. He would seem terribly rude. Yeah. Or he did. It could be either one of those, that he'd seem terribly rude. So you're right. That part, that D is a verb. Good job. And there's one more.
One more.
One more.
Subject.
No, the verbs. There's one more verb.
Yeah.
What?
It's right here toward the beginning. What?
Tell her.
Want.
Good. There you go. He didn't want. You're right. To join them. Okay. And the word join might sound like a verb here, but it's actually part of a prepositional phrase, which we're not marking those yet. So join is not a verb in this sentence, but that's all of them. So Chloe, how about, oops, I put a check there, but we're not done yet. But Chloe, how about the subjects? What are the subjects that pair with those verbs?
So the first one is he.
Good. There's two more.
Another
After the coordinating conjunction.
he before recognize.
Good. That's a subject. And then one more in the that clause.
And another he.
Yes, they're all he. You're right. So that's the subject that goes with seem in that one. Good. All right. And then Christian, what about the capital? What do we need to capitalize here?
He.
The first word he. We already got the end mark. We already got one apostrophe, but we need another one. Do you know which one, Harmony? Where does the other apostrophe go?
Didn't.
Didn't. Good. So it goes between the N and the T right here because it originally was did not. So we took out the O and that's where the apostrophe goes. Good job, you guys. That was it. Do you guys have any questions about that practice page? Nope. Okay. So you can rewrite it down below later, and then your homework will be the next 3 pages, which is 58, 59, and 60. You can do those later for your homework. Excellent. All right, so let's put that away, and then you're going to get out what you have in the front pocket of your binder. You guys have been working on the country mouse and the city mouse. So go ahead and get that out from your front pocket. And we did the first paragraph together, or at least the keyword outline part. Let me get my stuff out too. Let's see. Okay. So you should have your keyword outline, or I'm calling it keyword outline, but I mean story sequence chart. You need your story sequence chart and your paragraph. And first look at your paragraph. I want everybody to look at your paragraph. Give me a thumbs up if you actually finished your homework this week with your paragraph. Good, Harmony and Christian. Oh, good, all 3 of you. So take a quick look at it. I also want you to have your checklist next to you too. So you should have your paragraph and your checklist. And I bet you know what I'm going to ask you, because we usually do this. We check and make sure. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 words underlined for your paragraph. Check to see if you have ly adverb, who, which, strong verb, and because. If you have 4 words underlined, give me a thumbs up in your paragraph. Good. I see 2 thumbs. Are you looking, Chloe?
I didn't see the because clause.
Ah, yep, it's there. So you forgot that one? So later you can think of a spot when you're saying something is the way it is, you can tell why, okay? Like maybe I know in the beginning. Well, let me hear Christian's because. Tell me the sentence you have with the word because. And then maybe that'll help you find a spot, Chloe.
The city mouse and the country mouse were cousins because their moms were sisters.
Oh, okay. That was fast, but yes, that's good. I like how you put that. All right. So there's an example for you, Chloe. How about you, Harmony? Did you have a sentence that has the word because in it?
A sentence?
City mouse politely ate his food, but he didn't like it because it was too simple.
Ooh, I like that. Very good. There's a good example too, Chloe. So later, make sure to put that in there, because you guys are going to work on paragraphs 2 and 3 this week. So you want to make sure to fix it before you turn it back in again. And then what else was I going to ask you? Well, you don't have a title yet because you don't have your final sentence, but you will be working on that this week, and then you can change the title. Okay. Let's look at your story sequence chart. It's crazy that a week ago today was Halloween. It feels like Halloween was a really long time ago already, and it was just last week. Isn't that weird? You guys feel that way too? It's weird.
We put up a Christmas tree already, and it's not even Thanksgiving. My
I'm
brother
a
and sister
student.
wanted to.
Yeah, and Walmart and Target, everywhere you go now, there's Christmas stuff like everywhere. And it always bugs me because I always want to get through Thanksgiving first, but I guess people have to start planning ahead. And so I usually wait till the day after Thanksgiving to put mine up. But
We had this scary Halloween balloon I put up on the shelf.
a Halloween Christmas tree?
No, a scary Halloween balloon.
Oh,
Like some creepy clown face.
oh.
And then I put it on the shelf, and then I didn't take it down. I just put a Christmas hat on it.
Oh, that's
It's
funny.
still up with a Christmas hat.
It's kind of a mashup between both holidays.
And then I keep it up all year. For Easter, I'm gonna get it rabbit ears. And for
That's pretty funny. That's pretty creative, actually. You should do something for Thanksgiving, though, like maybe have him holding a little turkey or something. I don't
I
know.
haven't thought of anything for Thanksgiving yet.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not wearing a Christmas hat.
I know. I don't know. My birthday is right at the end of November. My birthday is on November 29th. And so usually it's right around Thanksgiving. And so
My brother's birthday's the 18th of November. The November 18th.
Yeah, that's coming up too. But I always get like, why is everybody pushing for Christmas? I haven't even had my birthday yet. So that's just how I feel about things. But anyway.
My sister's birthday is 5 days after Christmas. So she has to think of her birthday list right after Christmas.
Wait, 5 days after. So she's almost a New Year's baby, huh?
So she I gave her this idea, so anything she wanted on Christmas, she can add it to her birthday list.
Oh, that makes it easy, huh? Just transfer it right over.
And my birthday is right after Christmas as well. So I'm doing this.
Oh. A lot of birthdays coming up. All right. So basically, I think we should kind of reread some of this just to get it fresh in our mind because it's been a week and it feels like it's been a year. So I'm going to read this and then we can go back to our story sequence chart and work on the next two boxes here. So the city mouse and the country mouse. A city mouse once visited a cousin who lived in the country for lunch, and for lunch, the country mouse served wheat stalks, roots, and acorns with a dash of cold water for drink. The city mouse nibbled a little of this and a little of that by her manner, making it very plain that she ate the simple food only to be polite. After the meal, the city mouse chatted about her life in the city with its luxuries and delicacies. They went to bed in a cozy nest in the hedge and slept comfortably until morning. In her dreams, the country mouse enjoyed all the delights of the city life that her cousin had described. So the next day when the city mouse asked the country mouse to go home with her to the city, she gladly agreed and packed her things. After they reached the mansion in which the city mouse lived, they found on the dining room table the leavings of a fine banquet. There were meats and jellies, pastries, and delicious cheeses. But just as the country mouse was about to taste a morsel of cheddar, a cat meowed loudly. In great fear for the two mice scurried to a hiding place where they lay quite still for a long time, hardly daring to breathe. When at last they ventured back to the feast, the door opened slowly, and in came the servants to clear the table, followed by the house dog. The country mouse stepped into the city mouse's hole to pick up her bag and umbrella. You might have luxuries and dainties that I have not, she said as she hurried away, but I prefer my plain food and simple country life with the peace and security that go with them. Okay, and we talked about the characters and setting here at the beginning of the story. We've done this before. All three of you guys have done this before in the class that you took with me last time. Who remembers what goes in this middle box right here? After we introduce the characters and setting, do you remember what comes next usually in a story? Chloe, do you remember?
The conflicts.
Yes, very good. And then there's another word that goes with it. Conflict slash, anybody remember that other word? Starts with a P, Chloe.
Problem.
Good. Conflict slash problem. That goes in that middle box right here. That's usually the sequence that goes with a story. And then we answer the question, what? Like, what is the problem? Or what does the character want? What does the character need? What is the character thinking? What is the character doing? What is the character saying? All of those what questions come in the middle here. Because typically with stories, and you could probably think of some already, they typically have a problem. You guys remember me talking about Kung Fu Panda? I always come back to that one. I know, I talk about it a lot because I really like it. I haven't seen the new Mario movie. Well, it's probably not new anymore, but have you guys, I know that Harmony was Princess Peach. Have you guys seen the movie, the Mario movie? Oh, Harmony has.
Like 50 times.
Okay. See, I'm behind the times. I need to see it so I can talk to you guys about it. But okay, I'll ask you, who wants to tell me who are the characters in the story or in the movie Mario? Who can tell me who the characters are, like the main characters in the story? The movie. I'm guessing Mario is probably a main character, right? Chloe, are you asleep? So, Chloe, who else is in the movie about Mario?
Bowser.
Bowser. Who else?
Princess Peach.
Princess Peach.
Luigi.
Luigi.
Mario.
Mario. Okay. Christian, can you think of anybody else?
A bunch of little penguin guys.
Bunch of little penguin guys. Okay, what is the setting of the movie? Where are they? Who can tell me where are they in the movie? Because I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. Are they in a game, maybe?
Mario Land.
Mario Land? Is that what you said?
They're in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And then they travel through a weird portal which takes them to some other place that's called the Mushroom Kingdom. And then they travel across that world place. I don't even know what it's called.
Okay. So they're in different worlds and kingdoms, it sounds like. Okay, good. So who can tell me what the conflict or the problem was in the movie? What happened? What was the problem? Okay, Chloe.
Bowser was gonna take over Princess Peach's world.
Okay. Bowser's the bad guy? Okay, so Bowser was trying to take over Princess Peach's world or kingdom or whatever. And did they make a plan on how to solve that problem?
Yes.
Okay, so what did they do to solve the problem?
Like they were gonna do
Did they have a battle or something?
well, Bowser caught them, but then they had a plan. They were gonna get the magic star, so Bowser can stop taking over.
The magic star was like powerful, it would stop Bowser.
Yeah, but then they got caught, so they were being sunk into lava.
Oh, so there was another problem. So a couple of different problems happened, it sounds like. Okay. Okay. And then Harmony, what happened at the end of the movie? Do you remember how it ended?
My favorite.
What happened at the very end? How did it end?
Did they stop Bowser?
Are they? Yes,
Oh, good. How did they stop him? Do you remember?
I remembered.
What did they do to stop him?
They fight
Oh,
Bowser.
Was it the Kubas?
Yes,
Tell me.
it's the Koopas.
are those little penguin people thingies that Christian was talking about? They're like
No,
penguins?
the Koopas are not the penguins. The Koopas are those. No, the Bowser's are Koopa, and so are
Oh.
the turtle guys. But Goombas are the little brown things, and the penguins, I have no idea what they're called.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to watch that movie so I can talk to you guys about it. But it sounds like they
It's on
defeated
Peacock.
Bowser.
You have Peacock because it's on Peacock.
Okay. I don't know if I have Peacock. I think I do, but I'll have to check it out. So, but it sounds like it had a good ending. Like Princess Peach was saved, right? Like her kingdom was safe. Is that right, Harmony?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Well, there you go. There's an example of a movie. I don't even know the movie, but you guys explained to me who the characters are, what the problem was, and then how they solved the problem. That's the basic sequence of stories in general, okay? And movies and books and all of that. So we've got the conflict and problem. So what goes here, Christian? Do you remember what goes in this last box then?
The solution and I don't remember the name.
There's another word. It starts with CL. Climax. There you go. And then that other word is resolution. And it has the word solution in it, but it's called resolution. So go ahead and write this in on your box. And then you're going to skip a line and put in here how solved. So we're asking how here. How was it solved? Okay. So we've got the characters and setting, conflict and problem, what happens and all that. And then at the end, how it was solved. So going back to this story about the city mouse and the country mouse, we'd already talked about the characters here, and we talked about how the city mouse didn't really like the simple food that the country mouse served. So then after that happened, remember they went to sleep and then they got up the next morning. And then what happened next, Chloe, the next morning? You remember? So after they ate in the country, they went to sleep and they got up the next morning. And remember, the country mouse was dreaming about something. What was she dreaming about?
I forgot. What was it?
You forgot? Does anybody want to help Chloe? The country mouse was dreaming about city life, right? Were you going to say that?
The city.
Yes, good, Harmony. And then what happened next? When they got up the next morning, what did they do next?
They
Went to bed, blah, blah, blah. In her dreams, she dreamed about the city life right here. So the next day, what did the city mouse do?
The city mouse asked the country mouse to go to the city with them.
Okay, good. So let's remember how we put CIM for city mouse? So let's put CIM with a circle around it. City mouse invited COM, country mouse, to the city. I know to isn't really a keyword, but that's okay. We're just using notes here to help us remember the sequence of the story. So basically, the city mouse invited the country mouse to the city. Okay, so Christian, once they got to the city, what were some food items that they had or that were there in the house or the mansion, I guess?
Cheeses.
Cheeses. Good. jellies, what else?
Pastries.
Good. Okay. And they can be in whatever order you want to put them, but you're right. Cheeses, jellies, pastries. Do you guys know what pastries are? You heard that word before, pastries? That's like breads and stuff, sweet breads, like donuts or little cakes or
Wheat bread.
it could be wheat bread. Yeah. Pastries
The
are
wheat
usually,
bread.
oh, sweet bread. Yeah. That's more like it. They're
I'm
more
referring
sweet.
to the calf liver and stuff. Sweet bread.
No, not that kind of sweet bread. Oh, did you have to bring that up, Christian? That was the cowboy grub thing. Not that sweet bread. No, we're talking about good sweet bread. American good, like you go to Smith's Bakery and you got cookies and you got pastries like nut rolls and donuts and maple type stuff and all the yummy, yummy breads. Makes me want to go there and get some. My favorite are the smiley face cookies. Those are so good. Okay. I'm hungry. What can I say? So they go and eat. So, okay. So Harmony, they're at this mansion in the city. All these things are there on this big table. And then the conflict happens, right? Who comes in while they're getting ready to eat these yummy things? What happens next, Harmony?
Tell her.
The cat.
Yes, you're right. The cat comes. And what do they do when the cat comes, Harmony?
They
Scurried.
Scurried. I like that word. Scurried. And then what's another word that tells what they did?
What else did they do?
Where did they go? Remember?
Go.
Hiding. A hiding place.
A hiding place. So we could just put, oops, we can just put hide here. That's supposed to be an H, by the way. Yep. Or when you go to write this, if you want to put to a hiding place, that's fine too. These are just your notes here. So we're putting all the stuff that happens that goes wrong in the middle here, right? These are the problems that they're having. So the cat scurried and then, well, no, the cat came in and then they scurried away to go hide. And then they're hiding. Remember, it said they dared not even breathe, that they were so scared. Because you know, cats eat mice. So they were thinking they might die. That would be kind of scary. Be very scary. So then remember after that, Chloe, on the back page here. They came back to the feast, right? And then what happened?
They came like, do you mean like they came back to the table and the cat wasn't around?
Yeah, so they came back and the cat was gone, but then what happened? And you can look at the story, it's on the back of the story.
The country mouse wanted to go home.
Before that, there was another animal that came in.
Oh.
Remember?
What's it?
Do you have your story with you?
Yeah.
Look at your story on the back. This is on page 56. It tells you what happened next at the end of that first paragraph there on that page.
Cat me.
Go to the end of that paragraph down here.
Dog.
Yes, the dog came in, right? So we can put, how are we going to put that here for number 3, Chloe? They came back to the table, but now a dog came in and
Dog.
okay.
In.
Dog table what?
Dog came in.
Oh, dog came in. Okay. They went back to the feast though. Maybe we can draw like back to feast and then dog. They came back to the feast, but then the dog came in. And dogs also like to chase cat. I mean, well, they do. They like to chase cats, but they also like to chase mice. I have dogs that do that here because I live on a farm. We have mice, not in our house, thank goodness, but in our barn, in our garage, in our sheds. I mean, like basically everywhere else except for the house.
You know that type of dog that people used to have in castles to kill mice and rats?
Mm.
We had that type of dog.
Oh, that's good.
A cat brought us a gift, a rat gift. My mom didn't like it. I said it was very generous.
So, okay, so after the dog came, did the country mouse even get to try anything after the dog? Because the cat came in right as she was getting ready to take a bite of cheese. Remember that? And then they went to hide and they're scared. And then they came back out and then the dog came into the scene. Did they get to eat anything? Do you remember?
No, but she could have brought the cheese with her.
They didn't eat anything though. Harmony's shaking her head. No, but you're
Why
right.
didn't she bring some cheese with her? When she was running away from the cat when she had a piece of cheese in her hand, why didn't she just run with the piece of cheese in her hand?
That would have been a good idea. And if you want to add that to your story for fun, you can. But this actual story, they didn't get to eat anything. So I'm just going to put no eat food. They didn't get to eat any food because the dog was in and now the dog was chasing after them. And speaking of dogs, I don't know if you can hear mine in the background, but somebody's here at my house, but it's okay. They'll be quiet in a minute. Okay, so they didn't get to eat any food. So then I think Chloe said this earlier. So then the country mouse was like, I'm out of here, right? I'm gonna go back home because I don't care that you have all this fancy stuff. I'd rather be safe. So I'm gonna put country mouse, COM. Right, she was there visiting. She packed up her things. Let's see, what does it say? Her bag and umbrella. Bag, umbrella, and then she went home. And she says, you might have luxuries and dainties that I have not. But she says, but I prefer my plain food and the simple country life. So how can we put that? Let's look at number 2 here. Let's put something about how she says, you might have luxuries and dainties that I have not. What do you think, Christian? How can we put that here for the keyword outline for this?
You,
Okay.
luxuries, dainties, and then an I, and then a circle over it, and then a cross down the middle.
Oh, that's cool. All right, maybe we should use quotes too, like you. And if you guys have a different way of putting this, you can put it a different way if you want. But I like this. Luxuries, dainties. Those are the fancy things, right? And then he said, I with a circle and a line through it. That's a symbol for I have not. That's pretty good, Christian. And then the last part, she talks about, I prefer my plain food and simple country life with the peace and security that go with them. So Chloe, how can we put that in this last part here? What words can we put for our outline? That very last sentence there. You know which one I'm looking at, Chloe?
I'm trying to find the beginning of the sentence.
Basically, it's not the very beginning. It starts right here with what she says. So you can start with but, and then think of how you can put that in the outline.
Prefer
Okay.
plain, simple,
Okay. Prefer plain, simple.
and then we can like make a little food.
Okay. That's one way to do it. Does anybody have any other ideas on how you can put that last part? You have an idea, Harmony? Okay, what's your idea? This last part here, maybe saying something about peace and security.
Plain food, peace, security.
Plain food, peace, and security. That's 4 words.
And 3.
You only need 3.
Maybe just
Peace, security.
Peace, maybe that word prefer. What I kind of like that one because she's saying that's what I would rather have. What if we did prefer, peace, security? You like that, Harmony?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Let's put it in quotes too, because she says that. So prefer, peace, security. Do you know what security means? Can somebody tell me what security means? Go ahead.
Safe.
Safe. Go ahead, Chloe. You have something else to add to that?
Like if there's like, so like if like what if you're at Disney, like it's like making sure no one breaks in.
So like, yeah, security could be like a security officer, right? A security officer is somebody that has a special uniform and they're just making sure everybody's safe. And in this story, it just means that she feels safe. Like she doesn't have to deal with cats and dogs, right? In the country. She has other things to deal with, but not so much cats and dogs. So she's just basically saying, I would rather be in the country where I'm not dealing with cats and dogs because that's scary. So, all right. So you are now officially done with your story sequence chart here. Your job this week is to finish your story. Now, earlier I mentioned to Christian that he could add something if he wanted to his story. So I'm going to say that to you guys too. You have to have at least this part of the main part of the story, but if you want to add to it some of your own details to your story, you can for fun if you want. You don't have to. You can keep just to these sentences if you want to, but if you feel like it would be fun to add maybe what kind of a dog it was, or maybe what the dog looked like, or what the cat looked like, or what types of cheeses and jellies and pastries. If you want to add a little more detail to your story, you can for fun. That's up to you, but you need to finish your story with these two paragraphs here. And then I want to show you again the pink page. It should be in your stack of stuff there from.
Are we ending class early? Very early?
No, we still have a few more minutes, so I'm going to keep talking until 12. So don't get too excited, Christian. But remember, here's your list. This is on page 57, your list of ly adverbs here that you can use when you're writing your paragraph. Okay. Don't forget these imposters here. Okay, somebody's humming, so it's a little distracting. These imposters end in ly, but they are not adverbs. So you don't want to use these as adverbs because they're not. These are more adjectives. So this list will help you though. But let's look again at your checklist one more time. On here, don't forget the title rule, because the original title is The City Mouse and the Country Mouse. You're going to change that title. So make sure when you get to the very last sentence of your story, look for 1 to 3 key words to put in your title. Okay. So you want to give it a new title, and then make sure you include all 4 of these. So Chloe, make sure you get that because clause in there too. So you should have 4 words underlined in each paragraph. And then Let's not forget the banned words. And I'm pretty sure we talked about think thought before, right? Did we talk about that last time? Do you guys remember? Think thought. I can't remember if we got to talk about that. So I'm going to have you check something really quick. Look in your binders really quick for me. And turn to the banned words tab. It's toward the back. Way back here where it says banned words. And mine's not in there. That's not a good sign. Hold on a second. What is going on here? You should have, oh, it's because I didn't put it away yet. Yours should be behind there though. Hold on, let me show you what it looks like. Some of my students are still working on the other story. So behind banned words, you should have this blue page here. Give me a thumbs up if you have that in there. Oh, good. And do you see say said should be here, and then seesaw, and then go went, and then think thought. Do you have all 4 of those on there? Oh, good. Okay, then you got them all. So make sure you go back to this page behind your tab if you, because you might be tempted to say go in your story, and then you're like, uh-oh, that's a banned word. I have to think of another word. Go back to your list here and try to pick one of the other words that we wrote down. Okay, try to not use any of the banned words there. All right. Well, we do have 3 minutes left. Does anybody want to say any parting words before we leave? Anything else you want to say? Does anybody feel like reading your paragraph before we go? Because I didn't get to hear your paragraphs yet. Christian's like, no, let me go, let me go. Do you want to read yours, Chloe? No? How about we do it next week then? Yeah.
Next week. Or if
Yeah,
it
because I don't know
doesn't
about you, but I'm hungry to eat lunch.
I'm tired and I need to finish this walking stick I made.
Okay, that sounds like a fun project.